my name is Emma and welcome to Stranger's Mark, a game where you meet a stranger and they look at your mark, aka a tattoo, and go, interesting. Mind if I take a look? And, it's up to you, I guess, whether you want to go with them or not, but let's see what this person has to offer. This game was made for a jam. Content warning, light gore, and blood. Which you'll be fine with, as long as there's no jump scares. So why did you want to meet up again? It's been a while. I remember that you work for that one institute. The one dealing with all these supernatural cases. So I figured that you might be able to help me? Did something happen to you? Yeah, I guess. I really don't know where to start. It's fine. Just take a deep breath and start from the first thing you remember. Alrighty. You got this, my memory's strong. I was on my way home from a long shift. Being unbelievably tired, I decided on taking a shortcut on my way home, just through some dark alleyway. Sure, it did seem a bit unsettling, but I figured that nothing could go wrong. And so I went. Big steps to get through there as quickly as possible, walking as funny as I can to scare off the monsters because the vibe ain't right. To my dismay, that also meant I wasn't really looking where I went, and so I ran into someone with full force, scuttling my way into their path. The person I ran into, a young woman, jumped at the touch. I think she probably would have fallen to the ground had she gripped my arm to balance herself. I did wince a bit, but less from the impact and more from her cold touch. Zombie? Vampire? You should really look where you're going. Oh, sorry. Oh, well, it's fine. She gave me a wide smile, which somehow seemed just so unsettling. Looking back, I think it was because her smile never quite reached her glossy, lifeless eyes. But they are pink and they are very cute. Your eyes are very nice, madame. The stranger was still gripping my arm. But your grip is not. Please let go. The situation started to get more and more uncomfortable for me, which is why I asked her, are you okay? Are you alright? I hope I didn't hurt you. Oh, don't worry, it's fine. She let out a small giggle, but that only served to fuel my unease. That's good, but, if you would excuse me, I need to go. Ah, yes, of course. Just as she wanted to pull back, she noticed something on my arm. And suddenly, her gaze was completely fixated on it. Oh, that looks absolutely gorgeous. You don't see fine line tattoos this clean very often. Thank you? For a moment, her eyes seemed to light up a bit. You like tattoos, madame? This isn't a sketchy alleyway, so nothing bad could happen. Not that it was making me feel any better. How old is this tattoo? Her eyes met mine, and I could feel my stomach turn a bit. Trying not to panic, I gave her a quick answer. Around 5 years or so, I guess. And it's still so clean? Very impressive. Thanks? I think so too. Her gaze had shifted again. It was back on my arm, which she was still holding. I hate to say, or I have to say, I'm a bit sad that you're acting so distant. Well, I don't know you, and therefore we're not that chummy. Don't think that I haven't noticed the way you're keeping me at arm's length. I can't even do that because you're gripping my arm, though. Like, emotionally, I guess. But, well, I think we actually have a lot in common. You look a little sinister. I'm not the one doing sketchy things in an alley. So, what do you think about being friends? I could feel my heart missing a few beats at her proposal. Me? Being similar to this smiling, glassy-eyed weirdo? Feeling completely overwhelmed from whatever this woman was actually suggesting, I answered the first thing that came to my mind. Sure, I guess. I wouldn't know what to say. I hadn't even registered what I agreed to as she took my hand in hers and gave me a cheery smile. Not that my mood stayed for long. As soon as she saw that one ugly brown stripe running through one of my nails, her face darkened. Hey, listen. I think you gotta know something. And after that, what do I gotta know? She started listing a ton of skincare tips and told me to go to visit a dermatologist before leaving. So I did exactly that and got diagnosed with skin cancer? You can help me with that, right, buddy old pal? How insane is that? She just looks at me with an exasperated expression. Dear, and what's the problem now? Well, do you think she's perhaps clairvoyant? No. Ending 3. There's 3 endings, by the way. Let's just get through all of them, because I want to know what'll happen, I guess, if that wasn't caught. New game. Alright, I think I can tab skip, so I think we should be good. Maybe? No, I guess I'll just tappity tap. I'll come back when it's time. Alright, so we're going to push her away at this point. Could you let go of my arm? Can you let go? This is uncomfortable. Yes, of course. Just as she wanted to pull back, she noticed something on my arm. That looks absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. For a moment, she lightens up. Not that it makes me feel any better. How old is that tattoo? And I say, I really need to go, ma'am. Oh, that's really too bad. Her gaze shifted again, back to my arm. And then we skip. I think we actually have a lot in common, so what do you think about being friends? And I go, forget it! Leave me alone, you weirdo! I don't associate with back alley fiends who grab my arm and scrutinize my tattoos. It took all of my strength to shake her off, bringing some distance between us. Oh, that's rude. If you're like that, there's really reason to hold back, huh? What? Suddenly, she launched at me. I think the phrasing was, there's really no reason, but I'll take it. Gripping my arm with both of her hands and holding it in place, she just bit me. A little feral, you think? Her teeth tore into my flesh as she began to rip off my skin. The last thing I remember was her wide grin as a patch of my skin hung from her mouth. Vampire, but brutal. After that, I fell unconscious. I woke up days later in a hospital. Luckily, someone discovered me and called an ambulance. All I needed then was a skin transplant and some weeks of rest. So, buddy, oh pal, mind lending me some skin? But still, Thea, I can't shake off this unease, knowing that woman is still out there. Thea just shakes her head. Sometimes I wonder how you survive your own stupidity. Ending 2. I'm assuming ending 1 is like midway, half-half, I think. I think there's total 4 options-ish, so I should just do... Half of them are like, I'll be your friend, and half of them are like, no, I don't want to be your friend, actually. So, I'll come back to that again in a bit. Alright, I will first of all be nice. Ask if she's alright. And then we've seen this option. We're just gonna basically skip through. I don't think the dialogue really changes between, because it's a limit of 1,000 words. But, I really need to go. Yeah. I can say sure, maybe? No. The next one shouldn't be sure. But I don't know you. Come on, don't be a stranger. You can consider me your friend. Wait a second, what just happened? Didn't realize her nails digging into my skin until they drew blood. A scream escaped my throat. Okay. But I don't know you. Is the friend one. I said sure last time. This time I said I don't know you, so we're not gonna be friends. A scream escaped my throat. I wanted to run, but her grip was freakishly strong. So this should be the other ending soon? I couldn't get away. The pulsing pain was overwhelming. And then suddenly, I saw her standing there. It's not on her mouth this time. I mean, manners, I guess, with a piece of my skin in her hand. I think she noticed my panicked expression because she told me with a sickeningly sweet smile. Oh, don't worry about the gap. I'll fill that one with one of my favorites. She filled it with a favorite? I fell unconscious after that. When I woke up hours later in that alleyway, I was all alone with... She just nods. Her gaze boring into the place where my other hand rested, as if I was hiding it from her all-knowing gaze. I let out a defeated sigh as I pull up my sweater and revealed a new patch of skin, seemingly hastily sewn on. The skin was a tad too light and a bit too soft. Does that mean it's too old or too young, I wonder? And the tattoo on it was completely different. Thick lines making up a simple yet aesthetic image on, well, my skin. But it's nothing I would have ever wanted. Take another look at her. There's no sympathy or pity in her expression. She just looks so curious. Friendo, I've already had one skin transplant. Actually, I technically had 2. You better not be the 3rd. I truly hope that it was a good idea to come here. Ending 1. Okay, there's only 3 endings. So that was Stranger's Mark. You know, done in 1,000 words to fulfill a jam thing. Oh, to a game jam. So yeah. That's what happens when you talk to strangers on the road. You know what? That's a little mean. You can talk to strangers on the road, but always be wary of your situation. You know, make friends how you will. But make sure you are keeping her safe also. Unless you want your skin torn off and replaced. Which, I mean, if you want a different tattoo and you're bored of your tattoo, maybe. But yeah, that was Stranger's Mark, and I guess I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!